there. Anyone who knows anything about anything is familiar with this hunk of grade A Gerudo man meat. He kills a kid, that's canon. Ganon and or Ganondorf is as essential to the Zelda series as our tunicked hero and the titular princess herself. But every once in a blood moon, Nintendo sidelines this Demon King Giga Chad and finds another source of evil to flirt with. Today, we're gonna determine which of these progenitors of darkness is the next best one. But first, let's thin the list. We're keeping to the mainline games because we all know who would be top dog. This man has committed war crimes. We are excluding any instances of Ganon, Ganondorf, whatever. Calamities? Gone. Potential alter egos like Zelda 2's Magician and Aghanim from A Link to the Past? Gone. That leaves us with this motley crew. There's a clear dividing line in villain quality here, so let's breeze through what I consider the runners-up. Nightmare, Onyx, Varen, Bellum, Malladus, and your girl Lady Maud. All of these villains suffer from similar circumstances. Too little screen time, too little personality, too much like Ganon, or all three. Which leaves us with these 6 strapping gents. The 6 villains that could hold a candle to Ganondorf in terms of mere presence. I've ran them through a highly sophisticated algorithm known as My Opinion, which has aggregated an overall score based on their personality, character design, effect on the story, and general overall villainousness. And the results are in! You know, I didn't even think Demise should make the final cut. Yeah, he looks cool. He's probably the only character that can match Ganondorf in sheer intimidation factor, and I bet the carpet matches the drapes. But he is basically Proto-Ganon, whose character has greater implications for the lore writ large than for anything that purely happens in Skyward Sword. He's also responsible for turning every villain into some reincarnation of his hate, which feels kinda cheap. I'll give him 5 red carpets out of 10 red drapes. Even in a game where Ganondorf isn't the main villain, Yuga, who is, has a hard time escaping his shadow. He's Ganon's Larulian counterpart, but looks like a melting clown with a giant paintbrush wand, which he uses to turn people into paintings, a regular Da Vinci. He's formidable and efficient, capturing the sage's descendants, merging with Ganon, bearing the Triforce of Power, and comes within reach of his ultimate goal, true beauty. But alas, he falls short. 6 Pagliaccis out of 10. Zant had the making of a great villain. He looks cool, he's cold, calculating, menacing, he's into some freaky shit. The Usurper King. That's a great title. He took what he wanted by force and now walks around turning heroes into wolves and sunburning imps and killing gods. But as the game goes on, we find that he's a mere puppet and nothing more than an out-of-control, petulant child. He may have been higher up on this list if he was his own man, but as it stands, he's stuck under Ganon. 7 crying yummies out of 10. Look at this little guy. With the second most villain appearances after the G-Man himself, Vaati is basically his little purple wizarding brother, but he's also fucked up. Previously a Minish before he was entranced by the wickedness that lives in the hearts of men. Meryl. The Wind Mage, the Immortal Demon, Vaati is not only a little sorcerer boy, he also has a monstrous side. The franchise is no stranger to giant eye villains. It's just that this eye has a bit more personality than many of the eyes in this series. It would be interesting to see him in something other than a handheld game. 4 Eyes of Sauron out of 5. Majora is certainly the most unique villain on this list. He's ancient, wicked, a classic trickster figure who manipulates the impish Skull Kid to enact his devilish plans. He has the privilege of existing within the strangest Zelda world, and he molds it surreally to his nefarious ends. His presence is constantly felt through the tolling of Clocktown's bell, and by gazing up at that bizarre, ominous moon. When absorbed into the idyllic field of the inner moon, the contrast feels uncanny, and the little boy wearing Majora's mask only asks us to play. He is so unnerving, like he's in on something you're not, a cosmic joke, which he's laughed at for millennia. The absence of the princess in the final boss fight doesn't make him feel any less malevolent, and there is something different, powerful, about Link not relying on Zelda and her magic, but instead the powers imbued to him by the dreams of Clocktown's people. I give Majora 7.5 smiling happy mask salesmen and 1 angry one. Honestly, what is there to say? Look at him, the Lord of Demons. Ghirahim has an interesting dichotomy. On one hand, he's so elegant, so lithe, charismatic and well-kept, with a flamboyant flair for the dramatic. But he's also lethally cunning, sadistically cruel, and a bit of a maniac. Yes, he's fabulous, but he would probably rip your face off and feed it to you. He has an uneasy control over himself, balancing on a thin wire, the slightest tumble sending him over into a pit of murderous rage. And that mask falls off more and more throughout the game. But he's also incredibly self-assured and a competent villain. He dismisses Link constantly. Is incredible with 2 fingers, ladies. And my god, what moisturizer does he use? His skin is flawless, it's impeccable, as smooth as that silver tongue. His only downfall is that he's not his own, returning to his master Demise as some unholy, dark master sword. He is a twisted jester for a tyrant king, but damn, he looks good in Argyle. I'll also note, he's the only villain who actually succeeds at his plan. He captures Zelda and even in defeat resurrects his master, bringing into being an eternity of Demise's curse. I give him 13 Caligulas. For the most part, The Legend of Zelda has a short and shallow list of B-side villains. But when your franchise has one of the most iconic villains of all time, that's not easy to live up to. Even still, there are a handful that have constructed wings of malice and managed to fly close to that black sun. Let's hope Nintendo takes another risk and gives us someone as memorable and interesting as Majora or Ghirahim. Until then, old Ganondorf will do. Bye-bye!
No one thinks like Ganon, no one sings like Ganon, no one fights little fairy boy tricks like Ganon,
And he'll stomp you straight into oblivion.
Ah!